Hello, this is Tim Law with Playing It Forward Coaching, always looking for your self-reliance and my self-reliance. If you become a team player, you go the extra mile, basically have a solid work ethic. It's amazing what you can accomplish in this country of ours. These are all key success principles. A big thank you to over 460 people that have subscribed to my channel, Playing It Forward Coaching. If you haven't already, please do so. I've got a really cool guy here with me today. I'm going to interview with the Praxis Apprenticeship Program, John Ciannello. Am I saying that last name right, John?
Yeah, it's perfect. You got it.
Good, good. Well,
Yeah.
Tell us about your story, John. I got some Q&A here for you, and fire away. Let's hear what your background and your story. Thank you.
Yeah, so I'm 20 years old. Grew up in a small town in New Jersey. Kind of a typical experience with with education, sports. I was a football player. Kind of just went along with I got good grades, like high achiever type of kid, and went through that pathway, and it was like, okay, it's time to go to college. Went to college for a year. Happened to be that was the beginning of the COVID stuff. So it was an interesting time to be doing that. And then I kind of went through that year of college, and I said, I don't know if this is right, if this is something I want to do. It felt very slow per se. So my best friend Eddie Williams, who found out about Praxis a little while before I did, I found out through him. He told me, he's like, man, you should look into Praxis. So I applied. I got in. I was really excited, and I went with that, and I did that. I started that in September. I finished the third module of the boot camp period, the training period, in November.
Is that September and November of this year or last year, John?
This year, this past
Gotcha.
November.
Okay.
I finished, and I'm actually doing some work now for a company already. It's called the Power Locker. They do it's a vending machine company, but they do sports, fitness, healthier option type of stuff, and I'm excited about that. And I've kind of gotten there with some of the mindset that Praxis I've developed with that. So I'm just excited. That's kind of where I'm at. And that's a brief little snippet of what my story is.
Yeah, no, that's great. And you said you played football in high school. Did you play any other sports, John?
Yeah. So growing up, I played basketball as well, and baseball. In high school, I actually, freshman and sophomore year, I played football and basketball. And then I felt less like basketball was a good decision for me athletically, and then I actually decided to stop playing basketball, and I picked up baseball again, and that ended up working out. Yeah, those are the sports I play. I was big into sports and athletics, and that was kind of like became like this is my thing.
Well, I've always said as a longtime teacher and coach that the kids that basically get involved with sports, band, music, extracurricular activities, and doing more for the school, they really give themselves an advantage in the real world. You get more well-rounded, you learn teamwork, you learn how to, push yourselves, and so on and so forth. So I am kind of biased toward the kids that get involved in a variety of things within the school. It doesn't have to be sports, even though I've been an athletic coach. The idea of basically, just extending themselves on the school plays, sports, band, music, chorus or orchestra or whatever, all good. Okay, so tell us about your Praxis journey. You said Eddie Williams, who I'm hoping to interview here at some time soon, kind of told you about it. So you looked into Praxis. So tell us how that process went, because again, I've been talking to Mitchell Earl, and we're looking to see if we can, steer other people in the direction of this great program.
Yeah, so I guess it was the classic word of mouth advertising from Eddie. But then once I got into looking into what's this program all about, they're saying their tagline, a big tagline is, hey, if you feel like college is too slow for you, why don't you take a fast track route, and we got this program, and it's technically a year-long program, but the training period is 3 months, and then you go into placement, and we'll help you find and jumpstart your career. So I was like, okay, cool. So once I went on the website, and before I even applied, you could schedule a call with somebody from Praxis, and the website brings you to a calendar to select that, and you schedule it. And I got on a call with Mitchell Earl, who's the COO of the company, and he just, and for me, he had a very similar energy. We have very similar personalities and like approaches to things. So he really kind of got me on fire, and I applied right through the website, and then from then they, they reach out to you, thank you for the application, and if they like your application, you set up an interview and then a second interview, and then you find out about whether or not you got in after that.
Yeah. Well, you make a great point, John, and that's something that, again, ties in with the self-motivation programs that I've worked with, is that word energy, okay? And the idea that, being an athlete, being in shape, and so on and so forth, you have that extra energy, and I absolutely agree with you as far as Mitchell is concerned. And kind of a sidelight here is when I see a lot of people, and again, it's not just the young, but just kind of hanging out, on their devices, their screens, and just, whether it's gaming, Netflix, whatever. What's interesting is that you see a lot of these people that are watching other people do their goals. And it's like, how exciting can you, do you want to make yourself so that you'll actually appeal to other people? And I've asked this of kids too, if with your work ethic, whether it's good, bad, or whatever, how soon would you want to hire yourself? That's something that I think is real important for people to kind of look at and just say, hey, I really have to up my game. I got to up my energy, because right now this slow motion is not going to really appeal to too many people. Does that make sense as far as how you feel about energy?
Yeah, absolutely. I think you bring up a great point too about with who you are right now. If you were on the outside looking in, would you hire you?
Mm-hmm.
Would you want to have you on your team? And I think you bring up a great point, because a lot of times I think there's this idea that we perpetuate, and I think why the way it's done, it makes sense that people think this, that work is a burden and that your job is a burden and you have to hate what you do. And, I'm young, I'm 20, I'm just getting started. So I'm not speaking from a place of I know everything, but from what I've seen, it's a blessing and an opportunity to hey, find something that makes you come alive. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Isaac Morehouse, the founder of Praxis, and he said this multiple times, sometimes in a podcast or on video, just said like, hey, like, find what makes you come alive and figure out how you can make that your career. And, that's kind of like what I'm striving for, and just collecting experiences and saying, hey, like, why not make the most of whatever I have, and why not give it everything I got? And I think that's a key characteristic of the Praxis mindset, of a lot of the people. We tend to refer to each other as Praxians, like, so I think that's a key, a common trait among Praxians, is a desire to be the best the version of themselves in everything they're doing.
Sure.
So I think what you're getting at a huge point. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it makes a total sense, John. As far as I'm going to step back to that college debt scenario. Okay, I'm assuming you went to college for 1 year or something like that, or
yeah,
semester?
1 year.
1 year, and without getting specific as far as the college or whatever, how much debt would you have accumulated if you had stayed there for 4 years? What was your guesstimate on that?
Well, so I was fortunate enough. Well, so my dad had, from a work-related accident years ago, had a substantial amount of money that was invested well. So I really would personally would have been okay. I probably would have had less than, let's say, ballpark $10,000 debt. But
sure,
if I let's say I didn't have that fund or that
right, yeah, that's what I like.
Right, I would have accumulated, I'd say, probably at least $120,000 debt, at least.
Wow.
And that's under. And I was going to a small liberal arts school, with not, it wasn't a ton of people. I mean, it's a fine school, but it wasn't. I saw something about college itself that wasn't great for me. So that's huge. But I think I don't want to like cut you off or anything, but a good point to go from there for that I noticed is that even if I had that opportunity where I would have been okay, right, money wise, but
Mm-hmm.
there was also, you got to think about the opportunity cost of. So then I'm going into 4 years of debt of time where I could have been developing real skills and
Mm-hmm.
really and gaining real experience. Mitchell talks about that a lot. That's kind of one of the things that he really drew me in with, because I related to that, because he had a similar situation, and from what I understand, and I think that's huge too. So you're not only would you be going into financial debt, but you're going into time debt of
Mm-hmm.
the opportunity of like, 4 years of your life when you're from 18 to 22 is a huge opportunity to grow and gain experience. And, you don't want to just throw that away.
Yeah, I think that's a great point, John. I'm glad you brought it up. I mean, anything along those lines where we're in a direction like that, you're going, please share, okay? Because, I try to look at things in a very similar way, is that obviously money's important, but I look at my time, my talents, my energy, my attention before money. Obviously, money's an important tool, but all those other factors, we can make another dollar, we can't make another minute as far as our life is concerned. So I like that thought,
Yeah.
as far as what you said, as far as the opportunity cost. So what were some of the things that some of the key skills that and I'm amazed between September and November, you kind of got through the boot camp there, which is fantastic. What were some of the key skills you felt you picked up?
Yeah. So, I mean, there's some good technical skills, like hard skills. The first month, you kind of just run through 4 role types in a, well, they base it off a tech startup, but it's really in a company, and in most companies, a sales role, customer success, marketing, and operations. And so you learn different skills that those roles typically handle. So, like whether that's different tools that a sales rep would use to manage leads, like lead generation tools, and then keeping organized, keeping those leads that you generate organized. Customer success, different tools to. So one example is the first project I did for Praxis, or with Praxis. I went on a website called Drift. They do like web tools, and they have a tool to create a chat bot or a chat box for a website, like a customer support, customer success thing. So that those technical skills were huge, but also just the idea of building your own personal brand and marketing yourself. And I think taking advantage and grabbing hold of, hey, like, I have the capability to develop these skills. I'm going to develop these skills, and then I'm going to document them. Documentation is another huge one. Hey, like, I put this because for me, I think that my generation underestimates some of the things that we just take for granted, like that chat box, right? Like, to me, it's like, I don't know, like it doesn't seem that hard, but that's because we're digital natives, if you will, right? Like, we grew up with this technology. Sure. So to us, it seems as simple as downloading an app and then using it on your phone. But to a company that has people in it that maybe aren't as used to technology the way you are, it's like, no, that's actually really valuable, and that's a skill that you have, and you should let people know that you have skills like that. So I think those are the major things I've taken away with just, like, understanding I have more to offer than I even realized.
Yeah. And what out of those different skills, John, which one did you feel that you enjoyed the most? Obviously, it got to be somewhat rounded, but what did out of the ones that you were taught, what kind of echoed well with you?
I think well, right now the role I'm in with this company is sort of a sales and marketing role. So the sales and marketing skills were huge, because I think the biggest thing I took away from the skill development was the part of the soft skill aspect. So, like, understanding that I have that I can create these valuable skills and then use them to my advantage. So that was probably my biggest takeaway. But I guess in terms of hard skills, the sales stuff that we went over, and the sales techniques, that learning different tools you can use, and just organization. Like, there's a tool, it's called Hunter. If you go online, it's hunter.io. And it's just, let's say you had a website with a company, and I wanted to get in touch with somebody from your company. I could take the URL of your company, put it through Hunter, and it would pull all the names and emails that website has, and I can compile a list and have those in a nice organized list. So when I want to get in touch with Playing It Forward Coaching, Tim Law, and then your email would come up, and I can fire off an email. I could even, a cold call if there's a phone number. So, like, that's something that I took away that was huge for me.
Yeah. No, that sounds incredibly useful for sure. And what advice, John, would you give? We'll just go for a little bit longer here. what advice would you give to, let's say, young people that, as far as, looking into the Praxis apprenticeship opportunity?
Yeah, that's great. So I guess the way I'll frame if I would, something I wish somebody had given to me when I was 17, 18, junior, senior in high school. The first thing would be, hey, the people are going to tell you like, oh, college isn't for everybody, right? But don't let that feel belittling, because to me, a lot of times people say, oh yeah, it doesn't work for everybody, as if college is the superior option.
Mm-hmm.
But to me, a lot of these options are on an even playing field. Like for Praxis, I mean, I'm biased. I love Praxis. I'm like, this is supreme. This is cream of the crop stuff. I love being involved in this. But take everything humbly, and don't let anybody like make you feel like your well thought out decision is a bad decision. Because if you believe that it's well thought out, then I don't know, like you gotta run with that. But also, to sum that one up, just kind of like go through all your options and don't be afraid to say, hey, I don't want to take the normal conventional path. I think I'm better suited for this path. And then the other big thing that I would say is crucial, is vital, is that at your age, at my age, so from 17 or 18 to even 30,
Mm-hmm.
there's so much time that you have for me personally, I live with my parents and I don't have a ton of like my own bills, right? Some small stuff. I have so much opportunity to gain experience and make mistakes, and emphasizing that the value of gaining experiences is huge. So that's the other biggest thing I'd say. Like, understand where you are in life, and you don't have to have it figured out by the time you're 18 years old. Like you have so much opportunity to screw up and learn from that.
Yeah, no, well said. So from flipping to the other side, John, kind of my last question here for you, or close to it. What type of people is Praxis looking for?
Yeah, that's huge, because from my understanding, and they're looking for people that are self-starters, have that fire to learn, and have that fire to build skills and network and be a part of people that are on a fast track. And it's not people that, not even necessarily people that have it all figured out, but people that know, hey, I feel like I'm on a faster track than where college is leading me.
Mm-hmm.
And being aware of that, I think, is a huge characteristic of Praxians. And I'm sure if somebody else may correct me if I'm wrong about anything, so I just want to throw it out there. But people that, self-starters and just driven, and that desire to really learn and really just want to grab hold of their career. Mm-hmm. And don't want to go to college to get just a regular like liberal arts degree or something like that, and then come out and say like, wait, I actually don't know what to do with this, and then really be set back. So yeah, people that are asking questions about, hey, how much does this make sense to me? And people that say, I really want to grab hold of my career, grab hold of my life, and just kind of take it and run with it.
Sure. No, well, very well said. Well, any last second remarks here, John? This has been fantastic.
Yeah, I just want to thank you, Tim, for having me on. It really means a lot. I appreciate your time, giving me this platform. I want to hopelessly self-promote my podcast with
Please. Yes, sir. Put it up there. And actually, what we can do is text it or email it to me. Okay. And I'll make sure that I put it right up at the top.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's called Plebs. And real quick, the gist is that plebs is short for plebeians, as in simpletons, like in feudalism, the bottom of the barrel guys. And we're just a couple of 20 something year old guys that we want to learn, we want to share our ideas, but we also want to emphasize how little we really know. And we think that our show is great because we're going to interview a lot of people and just talk about things like real life things, and we think that has a lot of value, and we're excited about it. So we'd love to get you on it, Tim. We'd love to have people check it out. So that's really all I got. And just again, thank you so much for your time, and
yes, sir.
Listening to what I have to say.
I look forward to being on there. And like I said, just text me that, so I make sure I'll put it right up near the top so that people will see it. And this has been wonderful, John. I do appreciate it. If you can hang for just a minute after I close it, that would be wonderful.
Yeah. All right, Tim. Thanks again.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Yeah.